Hello and welcome to the Play Properly channel. This is Larry. What we're going to go through is the sheep Fatchin for Smash Up. I just got this from the mail here. So this is the package that kind of came in. So there's not like it's not like a package like penguins like this. It just comes in just a little bubble wrap. You get, of course, your marker there, your divider, and then you got your flock. There's no there's no tighten there. So let's open this up and we'll go through it. Even though I've kind of already played with the sheep, I just kind of ordered an extra. I figured I was paying shipping, I might as well order an extra sheep. That way, in case any cards get damaged, I don't have to order anytime soon. And of course, the little thing here, the little trick there we go. It's like a little thing there you peel off and you get the cards open. So usually what I do with these videos, I usually go through every single card. But I might do things a little bit differently this time. Of course, I'm still gonna go through every single card, but we're gonna probably do a little bit more discussing of the deck afterwards here. So let's bring this up. We'll take a look here if I don't bump too much. So we got here the flock. 2 minion, on going after their minion moves from here to another base. Move this minion there as well. So you got your typical 4 flock there. We got the black sheep. On going after minions played here, move this minion to another base. So you got 3 black sheep. Then you got ram. Talent, move this minion to another base. Then you may return a minion of power 2 or less of that base to its owner's hand. So you got 2 rams. And then you got the main boss, Little Bo Peep. Ongoing, other players cannot move minions to or from here. Talent, move one of your minions to here. So it's kind of a good way to kind of like nail down a base where they can't just move there, right? So actually, the one base, the princesses, where you have to move there. This would be a nice card to kind of get there, because then they won't be able to go onto that base at all. To follow or not, choose another player, choose a random action in the discard pile, play it as an extra action, or return it, and draw a card. You get 2 of those. That one's kind of an interesting card. I like that one. In sheep's clothing, play on a minion, on going after another minion. Moves from here to another base. You may move this minion to there as well and destroy this action. So it allows you to kind of shadow a minion. You shall pass. Move one of your minions to another base. Draw a card. You may play an extra action. And you got wood for sheep. Choose another player, reveal a random card from their hand. You may place a card from your hand into their hand to play the revealed card as an extra card. Otherwise, return it. Then you got shearing. Play in your minion, draw a card. On going, this minion has -2 power. Return this action to your hand at the start of your turn. Then you got on the lamb. Choose a base where you have a minion and another player. Move that minion and all of that player's minions there to a single other base. Counting sheep, play in a base, ongoing. After the power of another player's minion increases, your minions here get the power of another player's minion increases. Your minions here get +1 power until the end of the turn. This is probably the best action in the deck right here. Hello, Dolly. Special play, after another player plays an action, copy the ability of that action. That is a really good card. And then you got the bases. We got the pasture, 5/3/2. After the first time you move a minion to this base each turn, move another minion from there to here. And then you got the sheep shrine. After displayed, each player may move one of their minions to here. If played during setup, replace it and shuffle it into the deck. So they can't really start at the beginning of the deck, which is a little bit unique, right? So let's see what we got here. So you got the typical, except for usually these ones are 3s, but they're 4s, so you got a little bit of extra power with this deck. Just trying to kind of organize this, try to get it all on the screen here if I can. Let me just move the camera a bit. Try to get it all on here as best I can. So one main feature of this deck, of course, is going to be the movement, right? Because you got the black sheep that moves when everything is played. You got the flock that kind of follows everything. So you got a couple of different ways you can play this. You can play something, on the black sheep and make that move and move the flock with it. You can use the ram, just move the ram, and the flock will follow with that. And you can bounce the black sheep around. Like, there's a lot of little things here you can do, right? Of course, remember, black sheep is only when its minion is played there, right? Then I get Little Bo Peep. So there's kind of a lot of movement in this deck. So I think maybe like one key with this deck is to kind of, it's kind of got to be that little bit of a surprise element. So you got to set something up where you're going to target a base and then kind of eventually move there and get it. Like even on the lamb, like you're moving, a minion of yours moving somebody else's. So that might be a good way to kind of flock your opponent onto a base that maybe is not worth that much, whatever, that you don't mind giving up. Because you just move your minion and all that player's minions there. So that's a good way to kind of make him win a base that, he might not want to win. Again, I really like Hello Dolly. Woodford Sheep is one of those gimmicky cards I kind of really don't like, but I kind of don't like the ones where you kind of put into the hand of another player, because it just means that they can do that to you too. So I kind of, one reason I kind of don't like that. Sharing is kind of a interesting card, but in this one, of course, you get to move one of your minions, you get to draw a card and play an extra action. I mean, I kind of like that card. It gives you like a lot of flexibility. You can move and then draw a card, and you get to play an extra action. Like that's like three things in one card, which I really like. So, some things in the decks maybe try this out with. I can try this deck out with kind of a bunch of other things. Like I haven't really found anything that kind of really works with. I mean, sometimes you put it with like tornadoes or another kind of movement deck, but then sometimes you can get too much movement. Like you can just get too much of it, and it's oversaturated. Yeah, I mean, like I'm just trying to think, like maybe. Like one thing I kind of look at some of these decks is kind of sometimes wonder if there's kind of like little clues about which decks you should kind of put them with. Like if I look at this thing and I see the wizard there, I'm like, maybe I should play this deck with wizards one time, just because there's a wizard there. That maybe there's something, with this deck with the wizards that they've tested. You kind of look at this, like maybe that's kind of like wormish, so maybe try that with dragons. See how this deck does with dragons. I mean, it's definitely like a lot of movement, so it's kind of hard to say. Like, there's not really like a strategy of kind of spreading out. It's not really a strategy of kind of all piling on. It's kind of like a strategy of popping bases is kind of going to be more kind of with the movement. Just kind of suddenly moving on a base and popping it. Being a little bit unpredictable with that. So, anyways, this is the sheep deck. If you have any suggestions for, what to pair this with, leave the comments down below. And, let's see. This is the sheep deck. And I've had fun playing this deck. Haven't won with it very much, but I had lots of fun. So remember to play properly.